Hi and welcome to my Pick a Card reading for February 21. So I would suggest that you close your eyes and relax, and then you decide which is it, the stone, is it the dragon, or is it the unicorn. So for the stone, in February I would say you have a theme around relationship, around whether it's partnerships, relationships in your job, friendships. It is about relating. Pallas, Athena and Juno were also very strategic goddesses. I wouldn't say they are romantic goddesses. They are not like Venus, that is all about the play of attraction, the play of seduction. Juno is already married for quite some time, so it is not so much about the romantic aspect of love, but more about how do we relate, and the knowledge that every relationship is also about power. And I'm not talking about the game of power, but I'm talking about where is my power, where are my boundaries, where are your boundaries, and what is acceptable for me, or where we have to find another solution. So it is really about strategic conversation, strategic behavior, but it is also inside of us about our own strategies, how we think, how we see things, and here we see that we, unfortunately, it is a little bit in February about, are we really honest to others? And Cyrano de Bergerac is a character that is not evil, but Cyrano de Bergerac is a character that doesn't dare to be truthful because he thinks that as he is not lovable. So he invents a whole story that really ends in tragedy. It is the tragedy of lies that seems so charming at first glance, but in the end they only hurt. And interestingly enough, the theme is around the moon. February will be very likely a very emotional month for you. It is all about emotions, but the moon is also about our own safety. It is about coming home. It is about the sign of Cancer, this I have to come home to myself to truly feel, and this whole theme goes around. I would say I can only relate if I'm truthful. If I have to choose, do I want to relate to my lies? Do I want to relate to the person I would like to be, or to the partner I like to have, but it's not the actual partner that I have, or the person that I'm in love with is not the person that I imagine to be. So am I in love with my imagination, or am I in love with the truth? And in February it might be that the imagination, or at the moment for you the imagination might be more charming, which it is often the case, than the truth, or not so scary or not so frightening, because you can tell yourself what you want in your imagination. So I feel like it is really about, first of all, coming home to your own feelings. What am I truly feeling for this person? Where am I at the moment just by myself? Because, for example, if I feel very hurt or very frightened, then it might not be the moment to take a huge risk. If I'm very emotional about something, maybe it is a time to wait and calm down and relax. The beauty of February here is that it's really about love, that it is about relating. And I would say what the cards from the past show, that there is a huge wounding. There is a huge wounding that had been, and it is not clear whether it is with that person that you are in a relationship with, or whether this wounding is very, very old. I would say in many cases it might be both. For the past we have Saturn, we have sorrow, and we have the imprint of karma. So the imprint of karma means that it is a very old story with that person, whether, as I said, it is in a love relationship or it is in profession, but it is an old story. It is not new, and or it might be something from past lifetimes, but it is about a wounding that you know, or you in this month might be confronted with themes or issues that you already have experienced before, and issues that usually are very painful in your life. So again, you have to be really, really careful what are the stories from the past that I'm telling myself, and because I'm telling that to myself, I'm hurting also the other one, and I'm hurting myself because I'm telling myself stories that weaken me or that might not be true anymore. Or it is a reminder that there had been a wounding in the past, and you better watch out. Is that someone you really want to relate to? Is that someone you really want to have a contract with? What is really going on, and what is my old baggage that I'm carrying? What a kind of old pain I'm carrying? And in the future, it seems like there is a choice, or that there are two possibilities. There is a possibility that something goes deeper, or something is, because the card of grace is a form of love that is very deep, that is very honest, and that it could be in all this processing of trying to be honest to yourself, going back into the past, and trying to be careful, or trying to really digest, why do I want what I want? Why do I want to behave like I want to behave? And are there possibilities, or are there ways of behaving that would serve the highest good of all better that my first impulse says? Because I mean, let's face it, our pain is always something that makes us behave like a wounded animal. We bite, and or we run away, but we always overreact, and we fight or flight. And for the future, the possibility is to go into rage, like Turandot. This card Turandot in my card deck is also connected to the goddess Eris, and Eris is the goddess of discord, and she's the one who was not invited to the party, and she says, "Fuck you, you didn't see me, no one sees me." And this is, I think, a wound. I mean, everyone carries this wound, and if this wound is triggered, no one is fun to be around with. This kind of I'm not seen, and that's why I really misbehave, or I'm really getting so angry. And I feel it might be, I mean, the positive side of Aries, that conflict brings change, and sometimes this change is needed, and sometimes new boundaries are needed, and sometimes something has to be seen that hadn't been seen before. So I wouldn't say that Turandot is necessarily a bad card, because also in the opera, Turandot, in the end, she's willing to marry, she's willing to go the path of love, but before she needs to express her pain. The question is, will the next weeks be of initiation in love, or will it be, that the conflict is too strong? So, and I mean, with the trickster card, it's not only us that can lie, it might also be that someone else might not be honest with us. So it seems like it is, February is a very emotional month for you, and a very a month where you might be confronted with your pain and your wounding from the past, whether it's past lifetimes or whether it's a past with a person or whether you are reminded of other relationships, but it is something that goes back, or that confronts you with your past. And the most important advice I would say for this group is that be honest with yourself, take your time before you react, and take your time before you identify with an emotion, and before you identify with, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I want to do. And wait, breathe until you are really sure, because it might be that the first reaction that comes up is not the best. And then if you do that, you might really come a huge step further on your path towards happiness in love and in the relationships that were part of your question. In the group that has chosen the dragon, it is about a development that brings healing and that brings new horizons. And this development can be in a private sector, or it can be professionally, or it even can be in your health. Because Isis, the Queen of Fire, is a goddess of healing and of re-empowerment, and Ostara is connected to Easter, and Easter is the moment where all life comes back. It is the moment where life reawakens, and Parzival is also connected to Easter. So I feel like it might be that what your question is might be fulfilled around Easter, because it is a strong emphasis on Easter with Parzival and with Ostara. But it can also be that it represents new life, new opportunities that bring healing, or that bring a form of growth to you. I would say February is a time where it is about development, developing something new, developing something that brings new life, new possibilities. And in the past, you felt quite exhausted. Your health was not the best, or you were mentally exhausted, but there was a form of tiredness, of fatigue, and maybe even of sickness. But this personal pause, whether it had been on a physical level or in your whole life where things weren't really moving, was in a way an initiation, because it might have brought new ideas. Mercury is the planet of communication, but it is also the planet of the mind, where you find new ideas, or maybe you communicated with someone and a new idea popped up, and so I feel like something new is developing. If it is connected to a relationship, then I would say there had been a pause in the past, but it's not, I don't know, there had been maybe you weren't in contact with a person, and now it might be a moment where you re-engage, or where you, maybe it is first a change in your mind, and then it will be around Easter that there will be a new contact, or you have through this pause you found a new perspective. I would say that the theme is really about the passion for life, or the passion for this new idea, for this new person, for this new development. But cards of the future say that before you can enjoy those fruits, you have to purify some of your thoughts, some of your doubts, because there are doubts. This could be doubts in others, that others have doubts, that you have to convince others, or usually Nightmare is a card that talks about your own doubts, your own inner demons that make you not sleep at night, that make you doubt everything you are. But I would say don't listen to the demons, because Litha is summer solstice. It is the highest point in the year. This is a card about celebration. It is a card about fruition. This is a card about enjoying life. I would say that your deck shows that you are really on a path of developing something, and that you should not listen to your doubts or the doubts of other people, but you should trust the path, and you should trust the flow, and you should trust that there is something very good developing right now, and that you should trust the impulses, and you should also act. It is not because, as I said, in the past it was a time of standstill, of pause, of reflection, of stillness. Maybe it was also a time of regeneration, but now it is also a time to act and to interact, also to, because Parzival is also a card of the vision quest. Sometimes a vision quest means that you find the answer along the way, that it is not the time anymore to sit and wait, it is a time to act. And Ostara is also a card of action. It is also a card of new life, and now I want to act, now I want to live. So this was the second group. So the third and final group is the Unicorn group, and for the Unicorn group I would say the theme of February is around something that you are longing for, or were longing for a really long time. It is something you prayed for, it is something maybe you even brought with you as a longing from other lifetimes. But whatever it is something that invokes a huge passion. It is a very passionate wish that you have. And I would say that in the past you were really trying to do your best, you were really trying to walk your talk, you were really trying to do the best that you can, but it seems like, I mean, Neptune can be a card of huge spirituality, but Neptune can also be a card of fog, of illusions, of unclarity, of doubt. So it seems like sometimes you weren't sure, is it an illusion? Sometimes you weren't sure where to go, what to do. And Perchta is a card of letting go. Perchta is in the tradition of the Alps of Bavaria. It is the goddess that rides across the sky, the winter sky, from winter solstice to January the 6th, and she takes all the dead people and all the dead thoughts and dead ideas, and she takes it away with her to bring you new life. So it is, you have to let go before you can have something new. So I would say in the past it might have been that you were forced to let go because it was like a fog. It was like dancing in the fog, or dancing with a ghost. You couldn't move. It wasn't possible to move. The only solution in the past was to let go. And it doesn't say whether you were able to let go or whether you were forced to let go, but it is about, yeah, surrendering. The past was about surrendering, and the theme for February is about, it could also be finding your passion again, but I would say it is about that this wish re-emerges, this wish that is a very, very old passion. And I would say that something might happen in February that will bring you closer to your truth, whether it is that you talk with someone and you find out the truth, or that you hear something that will bring you the truth, but it will be a sudden revelation. Uranus can be many things. but Uranus very often is something very unexpected and very sudden. So I would say it is a sudden, maybe even shocking truth that you might discover in the next weeks, that is connected to your wish, and whether it is a wish for an intimate relationship, or whether it is a wish for, I don't know, moving or finding a job, there will be a revelation, a sudden, unexpected revelation. And I would say that the revelation, whether it's good or bad, will in the end empower you. And I mean, sometimes when we are able to really let something go, it can be empowering. The moment you set yourself free can be the most empowering moment. So I would say it is not clear whether it is something that will bring you towards your wish, or whether you can finally let it go. That is open, because I would say it is something that maybe it was also an idea that you carried with you for a long time, and let's say you wanted to become an artist and never was sure, will I be an artist, will I be not, and you were daydreaming. This combination of cards could also be, I would like to do something, but I prefer to daydream. And because you daydream, there comes a point where life says, let it go or do it. And I would say that the next month will bring you closer to see, or to realize whether it's better to let go, or whether it's better to really move into that direction. So that was the third group. I hope you will have a wonderful February, and I wish you all the success and all the blessings and all the love that you can get. Namaste.